What's up everyone, Cozy Otaku here and welcome back to another video. And in today's video I'm going to be trying something that I don't usually do because I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. But today I'm going to be trying to do like a little strategy slash guide and tips and tricks type thing for this game called Steven Universe Unleashed Delight. This game is very fun and I have 100% of the story. I have played this game mode here, which is very difficult, and honestly this game's amazing. But apart from that, I'm going to be trying to like do many strategy things where I talk about characters and like how good they are, if they're powerful or not, if they're good for teams, what characters they work well with, and stuff like that. And well, I thought I might give it a try, and if you like it, then tell me and I'll try and make a series on it. Because I noticed that when I typed up videos on YouTube to do with this game, I never really saw very many strategy guides or tips for this game. It was usually just people playing the game, or it was just shorts of the game, or people just showing like the fusions and that are in the game. There was never really any like tips and tricks, because there was this trophy in the game called Risky Bismuth, and I was trying to find out how to get that trophy. And there wasn't any tips on YouTube on how to get that trophy really that I found. And it turns out for the trophy you're supposed to click on like a prism, one of the prisms twice. But enough talking, I'm gonna like... The character I shall be talking about today is a character that I love to use in this game. This character, of course, is Greg. So Greg is a very good character in this game, and he is actually really busted. He used to be even more overpowered, but I think they might have patched this. There used to be like this exploitation method in the game where you could fill up your teamwork bar instantly with him if you just kept clicking on his guitar attack, but I don't think they have that anymore. So I'll be clicking on one of these levels. I think I'll do not diamond difficulty for the video, but hard difficulty for this, right? Because this is one of the more harder game modes in the game, and I'll just be showing like Greg and talking about how he works and all that. So good teams for him, I would say, from what I've played so far. I've played this game for a total of 44 hours. No, not 44, 45 hours. And if I was to give team recommendations for Greg, I would definitely say Garnet, because she has a move where she can distract all the enemies and force every enemy to attack her, which is very important for Greg, because if he gets hit, he stops playing his guitar, and he needs to play his guitar to attack the enemies. Because if he doesn't play his guitar, he's useless, and then you have to spend 2 star points, and star points are very valuable, and you need star points to do attacks. Bismuth is definitely very good as well, because if you have Bismuth in your party, he has an ability where he can make things, and when he makes things, you can make this one thing with his anvil, which allows you to make every single attack only cost 1 star point. Like Garnet here, her attack would usually cost 2 star points, but then you can make it cost 1, which means you can stall longer, meaning if you wanted Greg to heal your entire party, you could stall for those 5 turns and get him to fully heal everybody, or get him to just attack every enemy. He can slaughter an entire villain. On his own, he's a terrible character, but if you have a team with him, he is broken. Very broken. So I shall show my build for him, and it's not what it used to be, but I changed it slightly. The build that I have given him is this, for the teamwork jam. This ability used to be way more overpowered, but it's not as powerful as it used to be because of the fact that the exploitation method, I think, has been patched. Basically, you used to use this ability and you could fill the teamwork bar up instantly if you cheesed it. But this is my build for him. If the attack, but I gave him this because I needed to do that to get the rest of the upgrades. This allows him to target all enemies of the same type, which is very powerful because, once again, as I mentioned, there is that stall method where if you get Garnet to use her attack like once, or Bismuth to attack multiple enemies, it will stall, and then he can continue attacking all those enemies with his frequency, damaging them every single attack, and that can just sweep an entire horde of enemies. Packed house. That's very good as well, because lucky hits are usually good. And this one is just good because, as I said, as long as he doesn't get hit, his next turn costs 0 star points, meaning he can continue the combo. Reverb. Every strum, alright, has a 25% chance to fire choice. That's just there because I needed an extra upgrade, and it's not a bad upgrade for him. But these are his main upgrades. I made him a healer because that is very important for him to be a healer. So, first of all, this allows him to achieve lucky heals, which is always good. This overdrive ability is very good because, as I said, he will be able to stall if he uses the stall ability, and I shall probably finish this soon and just get to the gameplay part to show it. But as he's stalling and continuing to heal, he'll be able to heal characters over their HP limit. And this is his whammy bar, which obviously getting a perfect block allows him to continue his jam, which is very important as well. And the last two are pretty much just heals, and if he dies he can heal everybody with like one last thing. His badges I gave him, I needed his stats to be more equal so he had decent defense and attack. So I gave him the turtle badge and the sneaky badge. If he's at the back, no one will be able to see him. Rarely enemies will attack him, which means he can continue to play his guitar even if Garnet's not distracted all the enemies. But enough talking about it. I think I will actually show how this strategy works and what makes it so good. So, first of all, obviously I would put Greg at the back. I've given Garnet that ability where if she's at the front, she will get a shield. But if I get Bismuth to now craft, hopefully I will find a shield. There we go. And Bismuth, I will be talking about him in the next video because he is very overpowered as well. But you would then get Bismuth to do this.
Here we go.
And he didn't do it instantly. I was hoping he would do it on the first turn, but you want Bismuth to do that, right? And then once he does that, he allows everybody's moves to cost 1 star. And depending, there's only 2 enemies this time. But if there was a horde of enemies, I would be getting Garnet to do this right now. This means she can distract the enemies, meaning that Greg will obviously not get targeted. But usually you want Greg to either do this or this. This is also useful, but I usually just get him to do this or this. I will get him to do this on that enemy because he stays in the air. So when he's in the air, he can't really be targeted unless it's Steven, and his shield doesn't do that much damage, and Garnet can't attack in the air. So I will be using Greg to attack on this turn. And then another reason why Garnet is good for this team is certain enemies that are annoying. If you get Garnet now and she gets a lucky hit, she didn't get a lucky hit, but I will just, oh yeah, I forgot I'm playing hard mode, so I don't have any. Usually if she gets a lucky hit, she can paralyze the enemy and cause them to be shocked. But here's another reason why I have Garnet in this team with Greg. As you just saw there, she caused the enemy to burn. And when an enemy burns, they will be taking damage either every attack or at the end of the turn, and the burn can stack. And that means that not only Greg is attacking an enemy every turn, an enemy is also getting burnt, it can get paralyzed, and if you're using Bismuth, if there was more enemies there, he would be attacking like 5 enemies or 4 enemies, and it is just honestly busted and is just a really good team combination. I used this team to clear the diamond difficulty on this game, and I used it to clear other difficulties as well because this team is just very good. And there's never really any problems when I use this team. Here's another thing you could do. If you have Bismuth shield ability, you could probably put a shield over Greg as well, keep him more safe. But all of that damage that you just saw there is all because of Greg. And I can continue stalling as I attack this enemy, and that's an example of an enemy getting shocked. Now that that enemy is shocked, he will not be able to attack us now. So we'll get Steven to use his shield. And now that he's got his shield attacking the enemy, that is continuing the combo, and Greg has finished the enemy off. And that is pretty much just an example of how good Greg can be. I suppose I will quickly show like what I've got equipped to the other characters, but it's not as important. If you really want it to be more helpful, like, you would want Garnet to have her ability that allows her to stun the enemy, because she has this move where if she gets a lucky hit, which she usually gets on an enemy, then they will be paralyzed, which is kind of what you want for her to have. You want her to have defense as well, so that she can keep so that she stays alive as she's defending all the enemy attacks, and this badge is pretty helpful as well. But I will have a video discussing Garnet as well, because honestly, I don't know, I've just been enjoying playing this game, and I thought it'd be cool to make a video about this game and discussing it, and why I've enjoyed playing this game so far. And because I didn't see much gameplay on this videos. But apart from that, that is pretty much my tips on how to have builds for the characters in this game. And the hard part is going to be probably giving a title to this video. But I'll probably call it something basic like how to build Greg in Steven Universe Unleash the Light, or best Greg combos or something like that. I'll think of it. But once again, there's only 2 enemies here, so let me actually leave this area and go to an area where there's multiple enemies. Because I have at least 5 more minutes of film time here, so I will quickly go to a different area and try and like show off Greg a bit more. Because, let's see, that will probably have some enemies, so let's try going to the Diamond Fortress. Well, not the Diamond Fortress, I mean the fucking palace. I've been re-watching the show because how good this game is, but I have another video planned. I got the Attack the Light game, which is the prequel to this game. And I think I'll be trying that game out. Okay, this is pretty good. There's no enemies here, so wait, let me see, does he get his freebie? No. He only gets his freebie if he gets like the perfect, so here's an example. Shield for Bismuth. Bismuth's crafting ability. Hopefully he gets it first try this time. Oh crap, now I have to get to the shield. I didn't get the shield. So I'm going to have to use his crafting ability again, which is not a problem because I've got the star points this time to use. Alright, now we would use the shield ability again, and we would craft with it.
See what we've got.
It's usually the sword and shield I use because it's very good, and Garnet will scare these enemies away.
You'll have to go through me.
Quickly set up our gauntlets and end this turn, and watch this. Every time she gets a perfect, she does that. Oh, this enemy's going for her. And then she can also paralyze as well, put burn effects on it and stuff like that, and also that. I will be making a video talking about how I did that and how I've made Garnet this good in the game. Oh wait, why am I attacking with Garnet? Maybe from... So with Bismuth, I could have attacked those 2 enemies that were there with his hammer thing, and that was me just wanting to show the horde how he can attack hordes and easily sweep them away. But this is probably like one of the best teams that I've found for Greg in this game, because their moves don't cost that much star points, meaning he can continue using his moves, and Bismuth can clear hordes of enemies away fast. Garnet can like stun them and all that, meaning they can't attack Greg that much, and it's honestly a really good team for him. But if I was to show a few character recommendations as well for another team for him, it would have to be either Connie and Lion, because they can still easily kill enemies. If you didn't want to use Garnet, I'd suggest using Connie and Lion, because I like using them and they do a decent amount. Pearl's okay, but her moves cost a lot of star points, and I don't like using her as much because she can die really fast, and her moves do cost like, one of her moves costs 2 star points, which is, it lowers the defense of the enemies, but there's not really a point in that unless it's those big armoured enemies. And even then, Garnet with her stun ability and that's still better than Pearl, and she does the same damage in that and the burn effect, and Pearl, she can only attack multiple enemies. If I was to actually suggest who one of the worst characters in the game is, in my opinion, I wanna say it's Pearl, but I believe that she's also really good. I don't think it's Peridot, but it can be her at times, because when you unlock her, it's like halfway through the game. In fact, I think it's like towards the end of the game. I haven't unlocked Hessenite yet, and I'm trying to unlock her, but I've not got her yet. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and I hope this video was helpful to anybody who still plays this game. And have a lovely day, everyone.